So another high house match happening. Okay. I'm not sure if the sounds of the moves are being picked up. That's not that important, I guess. If someone jumps in for co-commentary, then we will try to make sure their sounds work. Alright, so let's look at the match. We got 12-teen and Grind, Grind and my Grande, versus Chicken and Katask. So Katask and Grind are both very fast players, so this should be a fast-paced game. Actually playing 2 minutes rather than 1 minute, so that's a little surprising. I thought they would have preferred 1 minute games. The time is very close. Katask looks like he's attacking, but Katask hasn't developed many of his pieces actually. So Grind is probably in a better position, and Grind has more pieces to drop. Whereas 12-teen is getting attacked. I think 12-teen and Chicken are both fairly safe. 12-teen's dark squares are a little bit weak, but that hasn't come into play yet. So Grind has a pretty good position. I'm surprised he didn't play knight at f6 followed by queen at f8 before the bishop moved. I guess the knight covered f8. I'm sorry. That's an interesting move. Now he has knight at e. Oh, he's doing that first. Okay. To create a weakness on b7 on the grind board. Yeah, knight check. This is probably mate. Pawn check. Knight at a5. Pretty close to mate. Oh yeah, he gets to utilize the knight. Very nice. So it's mate in 1 with pawn at b3. And they're up time. So that's the first win. So that we're actually starting the commentating at the very beginning of the series, unlike usual. So the score is 1-0 right now. Chicken says no knight. Guess he's worried about knight at f4, but he's protected that. Katask is in trouble already. Grind would like a knight or a rook or a queen, be good for him. Make continuations even with pawns. He might just play rook g1 if he wants to defend, because the f2 is covered by his bishop, but g2 is weak. Time is fairly even. Katask says he'll try to play safe, and he thinks he can outplay Grind. Let me check the Discord. So I'm in the house party chat. Yeah, Jarl, if you want to jump in, feel free. I'm in the house party channel. So this is an unusual time for them. They usually play fairly late at night. Hey Rusi. Thanks for watching. So it'd be great to have co-commentators. I wonder if he has an attack here. Knight at h6, king takes, knight at f5, but the bishop guards g7. So I think Chicken would need a rook in order to mate. If he had a rook, he has to smother mate. So
hey, what's up?
Who's joined? Oh, we got Jarl in here. Awesome. Hey, Chess Doofus, thanks for watching. So I'll give Jarl.
Can you hear me, Chuck?
Yes. I can hear. The better question is if a stream can hear you. So after this game ends real soon, so I can fix the layout, I want you to say stuff. Yeah. Okay. So if you can say stuff, I'm gonna work the sound. Can you talk, Jarl? Can you hear me, Jarl? Jarl? No. Yeah, I don't hear him either. He's not saying anything.
I cannot hear Chuck through the Discord. That's weird.
Oh, okay. So Jarl can't hear me, but I can hear him. Hello? Can you hear me, Jarl? Alright, I'm gonna try disconnecting and reconnecting. Maybe that'll help. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And can you talk?
Testing. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Hello.
Alright, we can hear you too. Excellent. Alright, so now let's focus on the game. Sorry about that, guys. So, this is an interesting position. 12 is on the attack, though G2 is weak. So yeah, Chicken is probably going to try to pounce on that. And he played the rook over before the knight check because it helped him defend too, because G7 was weak. So on this board, Grind is mated pretty soon. The rook takes. He wanted a bishop. He didn't wait for the bishop. So it's because was he uptime or downtime? I don't know.
Ask is saying that he's missed mate, I think. But Chicken found it.
Yeah. Tess would have had mate if he put the bishop on. What is that? A3 or whatever it was.
I've always maintained that Grind is 100. So it's good to see him in some high house.
Yeah, so Grind mentioned I think last night on one of the discords he said that he'd never partnered Chicken or 12 which seemed insane to me. Like I would think that he would have at some point. Maybe I misunderstood him, but like I think he and 12 are going to be a very good combination.
Yeah, for sure.
So Chicken is saying that 2 knights mate him. I think he's getting fairly safe now. So Chicken sees his weaknesses as oh, now his partner has to hold a knight. If 12 played one of the bishop takes e6, which happened. Although he's guarded with his knight. So on the grind board, if Katask were to get like a knight, that would be very good for him. Katask is up like 5 seconds, but Chicken is just defending for his life.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is over.
Queen G7, King E6 doesn't look very fun.
Indeed. So a pawn would mate for 12.
Sorry, how does it?
Well, the queen check and the king up, and then pawn at d5 looks fairly good.
Yeah, D5. Well, he'll have to go to F5, and then that's probably
So, but chicken is downtime at this point, and Kates doesn't really have much of an attack. Kates is saying no knight mates him. Knight check, king takes, then rook at. They preside it. Do I need a partner for tomorrow night? Yes, I do. Yeah, if you're available, Chess Doofus, love to partner you. So, Grind is a pretty relentless attacker. Or he likes to be. I mean, he can defend too, don't get me wrong, but I'm surprised he didn't go after h6 before. h6 seems fairly weak. Now he's going for it. I think he can he gets a pawn, he can pawn check, knight takes, then bishop takes f4.
Is chicken going to go pawn and g5 maybe? Okay. No, this is probably that.
Ooh, now knight at h6 at least wins the queen.
It's so solid.
Yeah, chicken seems fairly solid. I think Katask fairly solid too. And Katask has more pieces to work with, so he's gonna try to
Knight
get in
mates
on
for chicken.
grind.
Queen takes e5 on Katask's board.
Yeah,
Hey, what am I talking about?
he needs another knight. Now a knight mates or ooh. What's tomorrow night? So I stream on Wednesday and Friday nights, a regular stream, which is on Just TV, where I play bughouse myself. Right now I'm just commentating. In case that wasn't clear, I'm not one of the players. Hey Chess fan, not sure if I've seen you in here before, but thanks for watching. Oh, it looks like you've been following a while here. I bet. Did you change your handle recently? Okay, I'm gonna give a shout out to Charles Carlander
Ah, thank you.
because if you
Appreciate it.
guys are not following, you should be.
Well, I play all my best bughouse off stream.
Well, you play some pretty good bughouse on stream, so that's a testament to how good your off-stream bughouse is.
Managed to beat Nick Tice with Sicilian as black. Although he was higher rated, so his partner was like giving me everything I wanted. If I was on stream, I would never have pulled that off.
Yeah, Tice is very fast, very good. Oh, Liam Chess. Yeah, I recognize that hand, of course.
Well, grind is so tough, dude. Like I've played grind on fix a bunch of times, and
I'll
like
promote here.
so strong.
I would just put a pawn on h2, but I'm not an initiative hog like some other people. I just gobble up all those pieces. Oh, he's cutting off the escape square. So now he can drop a knight on h2, or even a pawn still. Both are good.
I wonder if he goes pawn at b4 or something to like harass the king as it escapes to c1.
Right now, you mean?
Yeah,
Hmm. Not quite sure what the move is here, frankly.
the knight at f1 check.
Yeah, I looked at that, but it just trades stuff. Oh, okay, he's taking the free rook. That's interesting. Oh, now he wins a few queens here. He could play queen takes queen and then knight takes queen.
Two for the price of one.
It's a little risky because, okay, well, it worked out, but instead of taking back, like knight at h6, oh, well, that's not an option. Queen covers. My bad. Okay, I could just take the rook here. Seems good. This is good too. Now a rook mates for grind. Queen takes knight. Okay. I guess they're doing a time scramble thing. And again, I've got so wrapped up in the grind game that I wasn't really watching the chicken 12-team game. It looks like 12-team is maiden. Maiden 1.
Rook g7 for Katesk. Just wins that knight.
Yeah, that would be a good move. The task is on the attack, and he seems fairly safe. But Katesk has sacked a piece in order to keep attacking. and then the knight so that he can threaten knight takes bishop.
Still wish Katesk could have played rook at g7 instead of bishop.
Right, yeah, it was a much better move. You're right. I would trade the knights for the bishops at this point.
If you could get another knight on d5, then if he doesn't get another knight, it's hard to see what the follow-up is going to be after knight takes f6 twice.
So do you think you should leave it for later?
Oh, no.
So bishop takes rook is okay for grind here, I think.
Chicken has mate here.
Oh, nice. E4, D5. Oh, do I play that? I do not play it as. I don't play it as black. As white, I just take the free pawn. I mean, I'm a greedy guy. So whenever my opponents give me free pawns, I'm very happy. So that's generally called the leaf, I think.
Yes.
Or maybe I'm misunderstanding here. E4,
Well,
D5,
it's
E
not the
takes
leaf
D, and E.
with d. If you were to go queen takes d5 or something, then it's not the leaf. But it's like when you go d5, e takes, and then you push e6, offering that second pawn. Then it is bit.
Yeah, so just if it's, I'd love to partner you. Yeah, so I stream at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Start a little bit earlier, like maybe 9:50 p.m. So yeah, if you want to partner, be ready by then, and let me know if you're willing to do like a webcam stream. That would be fun if we could get you on camera. But I mean, voice is fine too if you don't want to do the webcam. So chicken, assuming 12 doesn't get like a queen or a rook right here. I think chicken has a better attack position. So by the way, the score is 4-4 at this point, so we're all even. So I apologize, chess fan. I'm not really a good enough chess player to visualize positions in my head too far out. But like if I see it, on the board, I can figure it out. If you catch me in like Skype or Discord when I'm not streaming, I could just play the moves out on the board and they would make more sense to me. But of course, Jaro has a better positional understanding in his head, so I'm sure what he said is probably right. What is Grind's real strength on chess.com? That's a good question. It's hard to say. It depends a little bit who his partner is. It, he does better with High House than in the random pool. So it looks like this is going to be a quick mate for Katask. Yeah,
But
that
look at
should
what
be
Grind is doing
game
against
over.
Katesk, and Katesk is like 2800 strength.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't just play knight h4. I think that was a clearer mate there. But oh, okay, that mates too. Um, so I'm sorry. You said you think Grind is 2600 strength?
At least, yeah.
Okay. So honestly, I think Grind is pretty good, but every time that like I talk to Grind in a call, especially if Fairy Girl's around, uh, he's adamant that he's like much better than Fairy Girl, and I don't think that's the case. I think Fairy Girl is better than Grind at Bughouse. Which that may
Having
be,
played them both,
yeah. What do you
Fairy
think?
is I think Fairy is a bit stronger than me. I think Grind is a lot stronger than me.
Oh, so you think Grind is better than Fairy?
Yes, yes, and I think that Grind often doesn't try unless he's motivated. So like in a matchup like this will motivate him. But like if he's partnering me and playing against random people, he'll get bored.
There's a lot of people who say that that's the case, that they get bored and then don't play their best. I don't really understand that. Like whenever I play, I try my best. So it just seems weird to me. It seems like they're taking a short break. 15 says N1. I don't know what that means.
I briefly answer the question from Chess Fan.
Sure.
So on the top of the head drop, do you play or d5, e takes d and e6, and then because I've been having trouble with bishop b4 check. I guess he means bishop b5 check for white.
Okay.
Go on the Bughouse Club page. I can link this. I think Saucy or Minigreat, they have which like should probably just read. I'm gonna link this.
So Katask, I told them, or I tried to tell them. But you might also want to tell them in the Discord. Yeah, so I guess that's the reason that the series is paused, because Katask was muted. So he can't communicate with his partner because he never gets on voice. So that is a problem. Anyway, I think Grind and Fairy are both very good players. What I notice is that Grind likes to attack more, and Grind is definitely better at like maiden execution and at communication. But Fairy Girl seems to have safer positions and is able to find more moves without pieces. And Fairy Girl also wins more pieces in the game. So when evaluating how good someone is, like a lot of people have tunnel vision where they'll focus on their board and whether that person mates and how often that person mates. But it's also very important how a player can support their partner. And I think that Fairy Girl is better at supporting her partner than Grind is, because Fairy Girl will win more pieces for her partner. So I think overall that helps the team more. Um, so yeah, I've been more impressed with Fairy Girl than with Grind for that reason. But they're both very good players. Don't get me wrong, both much better than I am. Grind is very fast, yes. So Grind also, in addition to playing Bughouse, oh shoot, the game has started. In addition to playing Bughouse, he likes playing. I think it goes by many different names, but basically 10 or 15-second chess, which relies on like a lot of pre moves and good guesses and mouse movements and so forth. And he's fairly decent at that. So 12 team is winning pieces here, but Grind is getting attacked.
Back.
So yeah, this looks pretty bad for Grind. We'll see if he can defend it. So Katask can at least win a queen, and maybe he has even better. He would like a knight, another knight for e4. What else does he have? In the absence of that, you might want to just drop pawns and bishop at e1, maybe something like that. Maybe bishop at e1, pawn takes, and another pawn on d2 might be good.
B2 will make Grind.
Yeah. So the link you dropped in the chat, was that to answer Chess Fan's question?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that opening is called the Leaf Gambit, when basically when you sack 2 pawns in order to get more development. Which I do not like doing that because I am very materialistic, but a lot of players play that.
I think as black, it's a bit more acceptable to give a pawn. If you're white, then you want to. I think you have to look after your partner is playing black. But if you're black, you can sort of say to your partner, like, "You're playing white. You have the initiative. I'm going to sack a pawn."
Yeah, the thing is, the thing about the Leaf Gambit and losing the pawn in general is it's not that bad for your board. I mean, you're getting development for it, so it's not that big a deal. But depending on what your partner is playing, it can be devastating for your partner's board. Like you're making your partner play down the pawn in the very early opening, and there's times when your your partner's opponent can drop that pawn down, and maybe win a piece with it, and then you're down even more. So you have to be careful about material imbalances, especially in the early opening.
But I mean, if you sort of look at it from like a kind of idealistic perspective, it's like if you're white, you have the initiative, so you can do more with that queen. So the cool thing about
I understand all that. I guess what I'm trying to emphasize is if you lose a pawn late in the game, when both players have like a lot of pieces to drop in hand, it doesn't matter that much because it's an extra pawn that isn't even going to be used for a while because there's a lot of pieces in hand. But in the very early open, in the very beginning, that pawn is definitely going to be used very quickly, and the material imbalance is magnified. Like it's definitely going to be a factor because one pawn versus two pawns that are both going to be used is what you're looking at. Whereas late in the game, it's one pawn versus two pawns which may not be used.
if you look at the Helms cheesy line, I think it's the Helms line actually, where she goes like Queen E7,
Could
and
test
then
with
she's
like a
like
knight
Queen,
here. Knight at G2 is good for him. Oh, go
Queen.
ahead.
Now her
I'm sorry.
partner is playing white, so it's like that Queen. If you can get pawn H6 and you've got some diags and a queen, it's like it's almost mating. It's very difficult to defend.
Yeah.
So that Helms line is like, if you're playing white properly, I think that it's you lost a pawn, but you're never gonna put your pieces where they can be forked by a pawn if you really care about holding onto the piece anyway.
Yeah. So 12-teen has a pretty devastating attack here. If he can get a knight, he can at least win the queen and probably mate with the knight plus the bishop, which he already has the bishop. So Katask can't even take this queen with his knight because the knight is much valuable for black than the queen is going to be for white. Although he would like to do that because queen at h8 is very dangerous. Like if Kates were up time right now, the game would pretty much be over. It's hard for 12-teen to defend against the queen. And this is something you often see among high level players, and that I like to play too, in that pushing the F pawn. So traditionally that creates a weakness, but after you've already castled, the rook is already defending F2. So you can get this pawn up there and attack more light squares.
Queen defends G2.
Right. Yeah, that's also critical. Oh, thanks for the follow from On Day Blonde. Really appreciate it. So for anyone not familiar, we are commentating on Bughouse. Neither myself nor Jarl Carlander, who's in a call with me, neither of us are playing, but we are commentating. Matches 12-teen and Grind versus Chicken and Katask. And 12-teen and Chicken are two of the best players in the world. Grind and Katask are no slouches themselves, so this is very high rated games. A lot of fun to watch. I think Grind is going to lose some pieces in the process here. On the other hand, Katask is undeveloped with his queenside. These pieces aren't really in the action. And Grind seems a little bit more developed. Pieces are working together, though he would like to get this knight out. Like the G1 knight isn't doing that much. Okay, so he can win that back with the knight check. So this queen at e3, that's a very interesting move.
Teams up a lot.
So if he had just played pawn takes, then there would be queen takes, and then no matter what interposes, there would be pawn at f2, which would have mated. So he had to interpose something there.
This is for 3,000 for 12 team.
Yeah, 12 team is at 29.94. Oh, so luckily we have the untitled players on the partner boards. So we can actually see everyone's rating. Oh, the trading queens. I think that's only going to help 12
wants a knight here for c4. Oh, he didn't wait for it.
No, he's down 10 seconds. He can't wait for it.
Yeah, yeah. Regent Destroyer says sneaky rook takes e1 threat. I think he means rook takes d1 against chicken.
Is he the first player to 3,000? Well, 12 team has been 3,000 before. So the first legitimate player to 3,000, I would say yes. There have been a few bughouse players who have been over 3,000, but usually they've got there through rating manipulation and cheating. So they will.
One player has been over 4,000.
Yeah, I think there's been like a 4,500 player. But basically, the reason that happened was they would have a duplicate account, which was like, say, 2,300 strength, and they would sandbag until it was rated like 600, and then they would partner it. So your partner do a 600 who's playing like a 2,300, and your rating is going to get very high. But 12 teen has got his 3,003 rating here legitimately. So I don't think there's any other bughouse players who have got to 3,000 legitimately, as far as I know. Am I correct about that? Do you know, Jarl?
On chess.com, I do believe that you're correct. On
right. Well, yeah. On Fixed is a different animal. On Fixed, there have been 2 players who have been over 3,000 legitimately, and they're both playing right now. 12 teen and chicken.
3 mates for chicken. Hello. Hard to get when what we really mean is just heavy doesn't even mate, but like we say hard to get when what we ought to say is like I can't get it. Like it's not coming.
Yeah, well, they say hard to get just because that was one of the buttons on the Thief interface on Fix. So it's just like become lingo now. Oh, that's interesting. I would have played bishop at f6. Oh, I guess I see. He doesn't want to give the bishop because the bishop mates. Or no, wait. Kateska's already made it, so it's irrelevant. Wow. That was a clutch mate there. So for people not familiar with bughouse, what matters as far as time are the diagonal clocks. So 12 teens clock versus Katask's clock is what's important. Because if 12 teen is uptime on Katask, then he could not move and wait for pieces. And if Katask also didn't move, Katask would just run out of time and lose the game. That forces Katask to make moves, where Grind could then take stuff to hand to 12 teen, for example. You know, it works in all 4 directions there.
Chicken is crushing. I think he wants 3,000 for himself. He's going to promote next.
Oh, the nice mate from Gates there. Oh, they are in a call. That's interesting. We could go listen to them, but I guess we won't at this point. But Katask and Chicken are in a Discord call.
Oh, Katask speaks.
Yeah, he is speaking. That's interesting. We'll respect his privacy at this point.
Yeah, I still think he's Daniel Rensch. He's the only person defending chess.com on my streams.
I will defend chess.com on your streams. And I am not Danny Wrench. So here time is playing a role. Chicken is up on grind, which means Chicken can wait for these maiden pieces. And it's also good to wait so that he doesn't feed grind more pieces so grind can mate. Grind doesn't seem to have enough pieces to mate at this point, though he has a very good attack. He can drop the queen in, but he'll probably look for an intermezzo move, maybe bishop to g5 to pin that knight. Or he might drop the queen and then do bishop g5. Oh, that's very. Is this maiden for him? Oh yeah, it looks like a pawn mates. He got it. So probably they were communicating about that pawn maiden when they were sitting.
Like Chicken has given Cheesy such a good version of this opening.
Yes. So I mean, Cheesy Bread, who is 12teen, is already up a pawn, and he's attacking more, and he's about to win another piece. It looks like this knight still
Isn't
guards
even any
F.
compensation for this piece because the E5 knight defends F7.
It does, yeah.
Those pawns in the center, like he's just dominating the board.
Yeah, and this bishop on b7 is lining up nicely if they ever want to get more pawns on here. Oh, but now Chicken is getting some counterattack. He has knight at g5. Oh, he's going to try to get his queen in. If he had another queen for d7, that would be good. I really should look at the other board.
I think Grind could safely go knight at f5.
Yeah, well, so knight at e5, king
At
over.
e5 for Chicken is not that great.
You know, but if he has another knight, so knight at c6, for example. Oh yeah, he's just gonna win the rook. Now Chicken is winning pieces, where before he was losing them. Yeah, 12-teen's position looks kind of hard to defend. The threats are knight at f5 or knight at c6. How do you defend both of them?
Oh, maybe you're right.
And Chicken is just going to keep picking up pieces. Oh, there's a draw on the other board. Interesting.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Apparently Wesley So is also playing Bug on chess.com. He was watching this series early on, and he was commenting a little bit in the chat, but now he's playing himself. Let's see who else is playing. Yeah, Wesley So is playing against Fix Lager. Zyzon, who is Firefly from Fix, is playing against Legion Destroyer. And Ecarf is also in the random pool, playing versus Slow Bug. A lot of bughouse going on right now. In the meantime, 12teen and Grind have not really communicated with each other in the chat, so we assume that they're on a call somewhere, probably on Skype, but perhaps in Discord. So this is like a 1 second differential. Grind with like a knight. There's the knight pinned against the queen. A knight at g5 is very good. If he plays knight at g5, Kates. Okay, so he's creating his own knight by moving his existing one. He's won a queen in the process, but Kates is doing okay. I think waiting was a strategy because Grind and 12teen felt they would be better in the mouse race, which I'm not certain that's actually true, but might have believed that. Task is very fast. Chicken might even be like the slowest player in this particular match, and Chicken is pretty fast himself. Yeah, indeed, Chicken has flagged. Interesting. He stacked on f6 to try to get some counterplay. Now a knight would be good for him. Or, oh, earlier rook would have been good. Oh, now you can play the knight check. The knight takes. Meanwhile, Grind is getting pounded there. If he plays pawn takes, then he can inject a pawn here, so I don't think he can take the knight. Gonna shed this rook, but f7 is still fairly weak. So he has this discovered attack, where if pawn takes, then the rook check. Seeing that, now he has knight check, take rook. A knight mates for chicken. He's down time though. The rook doesn't quite mate, but I guess it's fairly good. Just rook check, rook takes rook. Oh, losing that knight is not good. Oh, maybe he doesn't lose knight after all. This bishop defends, luckily. Time is very close. I don't feel like Grind has much of an attack though. Katesk is fairly safe. Valtine is trying to create initiative, but he's made it right there. Chicken's attack was just faster. That's why initiative is so important in this game. So Grind is sitting a lot, which I'm not really sure why. Maybe he was trying not to give pieces to Chicken, but I think it's better to move faster in that situation because Chicken is still up time when a queen mates. So basically grind is going to have to save the queen. Very difficult to do it, and like at a minimum he's going to have to give a rook. You could play rook at d6 or rook at e6, and bishop takes, and that will force the rook. Of course, Katesk would like to win a queen, but I'm not certain he can force a queen. So suppose chicken gets the rook. Where would the rook go? If he just rook checks, then he can slide over, so that doesn't mate. Oh, that's interesting. Gonna play bishop takes bishop here. I guess the follow-up question is if chicken lets go a check, is chicken mated? I don't think he is, though. It's he loses the queen, but oh, okay. So chicken gets to do this with initiative since he has the knight. With initiative is always better than without. And knight check again, and then a knight would mate. Very nice. Drew the king out. Beautiful.
Sorry to keep dipping in and out.
Oh, no worries. So 12 team keeps letting chicken get these pieces surrounding the king, which puts a lot of pressure on grind because grind can't give a rook or a queen. And Katesk can just go piece hunting. Luckily, grind is uptime at this point, so he doesn't even have to move. But if he were downtime, that pressure could be overwhelming.
I think that Cheesy and Grind have the advantage now because 12 team didn't hunt down the a6 knight. Maybe just sees no way to get it after a6, knight a3, pawn before knight b1. It's actually hard to pick up that knight.
Yeah.
So he's just focusing on trying to fix rather than trying to win quickly.
So yeah, so he's letting his e bishop defend the critical g7 square, attacking the queen at the same time. A clever move.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so also it reveals bishop takes h4. Unfortunately, they're downtime. If they were uptime, this would force the piece for grind.
Liked bishop f8 for
Yeah, the clever move.
Okay, so grind's one.
Yeah, grind has a maiden one with the queen. They resign. So
By the way,
if anyone's watching who hasn't followed yet, I would appreciate a follow so you can see my future streams. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Jarl?
They switched. I wrote like a beginning bughouse on chess.com.
Okay.
Sam Copeland just messaged me to say they're going to headline that tonight.
Oh, awesome.
Not sure what that means, but I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, I think it means it'll be featured on the front page, so people can see it easier.
All my stuff gets featured on the front page, but I think that now that they fixed, because they didn't like my screen grabs, kind of looks a bit amateurish. They're going to put it back in rotation, I guess.
Cool. Thanks for the follow from Artifact Drafter. Really appreciate it.
Everyone should follow Chuck.
And for anyone new to watching, this is Bughouse, which is a chess variant, and those are the rules. And I'm commentating here with Jarl, Carlin, and Bughouse. Neither of us are playing, but we are watching, and we have a treat because the players are very, very good. 12 Teen and Chicken are two of the top 3 players in the world, at the very least, maybe the top 2 players in the world. And Grind and Task are very strong players also. And what my partner was, what my co-commentator was alluding to is that he has a blog on chess.com where he talks about bughouse concepts. And let me see if you're Jarl Carlander on chess.com, is that right? Yes.
Oh, can I interrupt you briefly?
Sure.
Katask was watching True Player last night, and he just copied True Player's.
Oh yeah. That's funny because he mentioned last night. He said True Player is a genius. I'm going to try this opening in High House, which is basically the Queen Sack opening.
He hasn't pulled anything that extravagant out, but he has gone for Knight H4 to try and just pick off that F5 bishop right away. It's a really interesting try. He was giving Hisoka a really hard time with it. Although I think that Hisoka eventually figured something out. True Player got a lot of tricky wins against Hisoka last night.
So, True Player is, like, for years he's been one of the most creative players as far as openings. I would say 90 to 90% of bughouse players play like the same sorts of openings. And then there's a few that play just really interesting, different stuff. And True Player is one of those who he likes to play from a different opening book. And I was partnered with True Player when he innovated one of his openings. It was a bughouse gathering in Las Vegas, and he partnered me. And we played, I don't know, like 50 games together. And he played this opening, which he plays often, where he would take his queenside knight and bring it over to his kingside. But he would not trade the knights. He'd sort of keep them like tucked back. So basically, the game would go, maybe like 1 minute in, or I don't know, 40 moves in before any knights traded, and my opponents often would sack on me and then would be expecting a knight to like continue their attack, and it just would not come. So it was a very good opening for controlling trades and helping the partner to do well, because the knights would not come.
I once asked True Player, do you play so extravagantly to opponents to attack you and so help your partner live? And he said, no, I don't even look at my partner's board.
I don't think that's true, because it's not true that he doesn't look at his partner's board, because I mean, pretty often he'll tell me like, oh, you have mate, or oh, here's the piece you need. He's very good at giving his partner, feeding them moves and feeding them pieces. I guess it depends on the partner, maybe, but
it reminds me of Miguel Naidov's claim that he never calculates a single move.
but yeah, the queen sack that True Player plays is a more recent development, and it's interesting because that was a nice smother mate.
D4
Nice smother
sorry,
mate.
sorry.
Yeah. Queen takes D4. He should have done. Just because that was just such a strong attack. But yeah, so the queen sack line that True Player plays, where he sacks his queen on F2 like really quickly, and then just tries to attack with knights and bishops and so forth. It's the sort of thing you see really low-rated players play, and everyone like makes fun of them, and they don't do very well because the queen obviously hurts their partner like a lot. And then they'll stop playing it as they get better. But True Player is a very high-rated player, and he does it, and it works a surprising amount of time for him. I mean, not against like really good players, but against decent players. And it's because people aren't used to it, and he plays it so fast, and he doesn't just like wait for pieces forever. Like, he knows like follow-up moves afterwards that he can make until he gets the pieces he needs.
Yes, it's very difficult to deal with if you're not ready for it, and sometimes even if you are.
And it's also tilting, which is a if you're playing a long series of games versus someone, just to get them off their game and doubting their openings and getting partners arguing with each other, that helps you. So if you can snag a win when you sack your queen early on, and you can snag a win in a game that's like 6 moves long, that's gonna help you get the psychological advantage. So now a rook mates for 12-teen. A rook. Well, no, it's Katesk's turn. So if it were Grind's turn, a rook would mate for him. But Katesk obviously is gonna defend this.
Cheese is going to go knight g4 or something.
Oh, you were correct.
Now, queen mates him if he moves, and yep, he's busted.
Yep.
I think.
Can you tell us the move for true players queen sack line? Jarl, can you bust out the first few moves of that?
It's normally like e4, bishop c4, queen h5, and queen takes f7. And sort of like, what black does may vary. It may be e5.
But
But
but but
sometimes
but
if you
that
get a,
that's another thing that helps him play fast. That like he doesn't care about losing pieces that line, and he will make like the same moves no matter what the other side moves. So that allows him to pre-move things. So yeah, it helps him be faster. It helps him attack. Basically, true player, he wants to be. Ideally, he's like attacking all game. And then if you're attacking all game, even if you sack a piece early on, then your opponent may drop pieces while they defend. Or, may lose pieces while they defend, and then you've sort of won it back. So like a few pawns would be good for 12-teen.
I think my first appearance on your show, Chuck, was we got into a long series where you were playing True Player, who was underrated, and I was playing Triland.
Yeah.
Because I think we won that series, but we lost a lot of points because True Player was like rated in the 1900s when he's like much stronger than that.
Yeah. So true player's queen sack line. Obviously, it works much better when he's partnered to high rated people than when he's partnered to low rated people. If he's partnered to someone low rated, like that queen he loses, like they may lose really fast based on that. But if he's partnered to someone high rated, they can probably withstand the queen onslaught. And also may play fast enough to feed him the pieces he wants. Oh, this looks pretty dangerous for 12. Yeah, 12's made it.
Oh, King E7. Oh, Knight mate will mate him.
Knight will mate who?
12-teen. Queen
Yeah, well,
F6.
a pawn will mate him. A pawn at f6 would mate. Yeah, there's the pawn.
Can go King G6.
Oh, that's a good point. It might take another thing after that.
Maybe Chicken will throw in Rook G5 first.
I would just play maybe queen at g4, then rook takes whatever interposes. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is clever. This wins with the few pawns. Or maybe it doesn't. What if he gets down here? Oh, interesting. Okay, and grind that mate there. Yeah, queen h4, queen takes f2 would be the true player line.
I like to experiment with when I play my D4 system, and I trade a knight, and they go D takes E4 to make them defend E4, and then sometimes if they don't have a pawn, they'll push F5, and then I'll just go Queen H5 check, make them push G6, and then just put the queen back on its home square.
Yeah, so you've
And
induced them to create weaknesses.
uh, um, and that I'll spend a tempo with my queen. I won't spend the queen excessive, but true players got some good results with it.
Yeah. So, by the way, the score in the match, we're all tied up, 14 and a half to 14 and a half.
Player also has his Rook G1, G4 stuff, right?
This covers that. I say it again, who has Rook G1, G4?
And has Knight B6, Pawn D7 there, which looks pretty overwhelming. But yeah, true player has a line where he goes G4, Knight H3, Rook G1.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and it's good to see people innovating like that.
Katas might be a bit busted.
Katas does some innovation himself. I mean, it's not like as crazy as True Player, but he doesn't like play the same stuff everyone does. Yeah, so grind is up so much time that this is just going to be a win. Yeah, now the queen mates. Katast's real name is not known, but he doesn't like it when we speculate, so we're not going to. This is probably actually the first time that he's ever been on voice, so maybe Chicken knows who he is at this point, but none of the rest of us do. Oh, we caught him in a pre-move. This is probably
Pawn
going to be a
E3 is
win.
gonna sting.
Yeah. Now he just needs to get some pieces in play. Like a few pawns or a knight would be good. Maybe queen here, and then knight takes, and then queen takes rook. It's a possibility. He could also play queen takes d6 to threaten either of these. Or he can, he can't wait for stuff because he's down time. Task is going to sit. If he were uptime, this would be devastating. But I mean, 12-teen has moves. Maybe standing rich. Maybe. Now the follow-up question is Artifact Drafter a Jarl Carlinger dupe? That's something that Jarl says often. Okay, so he's chosen to win the rook. I guess another unusual move, if he thought times were real close, he could play knight from c to d4, which would cut off more squares, and then if pawn takes queen, a few pawns would mate. We got the queen, but his partner's in a lot of trouble. Maybe f3 over here. Oh, mind. Yeah, I think grind is gonna lose this one. Chicken seems able to defend this. Ooh, maybe not. LT might have found some magic. Okay, so we made it grind. There's another pre-move. I think 12 has realized that the knight c3 thing is a very common pre-move for a chicken. So at that point in the opening is a good time to try to exploit that pre-move. Chicken is still fairly safe with this stuff around here. Oh, I guess the second knight would be good. We might have to shed that queen and take this knight. We could see
As long as he
knight
does
at
it on,
e7. Knight at e7 is interesting. I'm sorry, what was that, partner? Or sorry, commentator.
he can give the queen as long as he does it on contest move. Because if he can play like bishop f8, few other defensive moves. Well, this is nice. He's forcing off h6 to grab. Oh well, might have pre-move tricked himself here. Takes f2
Wow,
is
that's
really nice.
interesting.
Now the queen comes with check, which makes having a counter attack, but it wasn't possible because 12 kept check.
He's caught him in a pre-move again. I think Chicken is going to have to stop pre-moving knight c3 eventually, as 12 is onto him. The 12 has picked up a piece there. In a little bit of danger. Oh, now he's lost a piece again. So maybe knight at g8 here. 12 seems in trouble.
Task is busted.
Oh yeah, that's true. Task is busted. Like pawn check, takes knight, pawn takes f7.
Yes.
I mean, maybe he can go back to d7 and then take the pawn since the knight won't defend it.
I have no idea why Grind didn't just go pawn at c7 because I'm sure that was.
I think Grind thinks that this is maybe maiden because he either threatens the pawn checkmate, and if that's defended, he can promote the pawn. It seems like a decent move as long as his king is safe.
Because Chicken has a queen in his hand, 12 hasn't castled. His king is actually safer in the center here because h6 and g5 would just be so difficult to deal with if Cheesy had castled. So Cheesy is just, I think, very wisely keeping his king in the center and being down a queen.
And it additionally it gives him options in the future. If the center ever gets attacked at some point, he can always castle later and get out of danger. So this creates a weakness. I don't think that was a great move.
h5?
Yeah, h5. There's a weakness on g6, or you could just play bishop takes pawn. So,
I would have gone in for pawn at g6 right away, rather than knight d5, because I think bishop e6 and
takes pawn. So grind is down a little bit. A number of things would be good for him. A new knight at c7 would be good. If he had, what else? He could just play pawn at e6 right here, and he doesn't have to wait for something. I guess pawn at e6 might be best. So Chicken can't move because he's going to have to give up that knight if he moves. Yeah, so pawn mates for grind. You could even take this bishop, I guess. Rook takes bishop. You can move the bishop here. Now they're in a time scramble. And he needed a blocker, so he just flagged. We're probably going to see a queen trade on the contest board. And chicken is actually in more trouble with that queen. So knight would be good. Well, now chicken seems fairly safe. Things can turn really quickly like that. 12 team wants some more pieces to inject, even just pawns would be good. It's a clever move. This really is pinned, because if it moves away, then you mate right there. Are you still here, Jarl? Okay.
Expected queen takes f3 rather than queen takes d3. So interesting.
Oh, looks like grind is going to get mated real soon here. Can't survive this. He's up 1 second, but 12 team can't mate in 1 second. I say that just as being pretty good at finding mates, but this just seems harder than he's capable of. Over, I think saves it. If he had another knight, that would have been mate. I think grind should have done pawn at g3 instead of pawn at e3 there. Oh, there we go. Grind has a pretty good attack here. Like a queen would mate, but oh, move.
Ooh, bishop takes e3, very strong.
Yeah. Now you can take this other bishop. Oh, I don't like that move. I think grind had a lot better. Now his attack is fizzling. I mean, he still
Queen
wants a
takes
queen.
e3 looks pretty good to me.
Oh, queen takes e3. Yeah, that's interesting. I like it. But it's going to be rook at c8, and he doesn't have a blocker.
He goes king d7.
So that's a
It looks
prophylactic
like
move
grind agreed
to
with you.
save that. Now you can take that pawn you mentioned.
Queen e1, but then
Then a pawn would be good.
yeah, I think queen e1 works.
Yep.
Is he gonna put that
Pawn at
pawn?
f2 seems good. I think he should have just put the pawn on immediately, but this is okay. And then a knight mates for grind. They're down 4 seconds though, so they're not going to get it. 12 is in under attack here actually. I guess 12 would like some pieces too. Oh, 12 thinks he's safe. Don't know if that's actually true. Another rook would mate for chicken with rook at g1. And if knight takes, then rook at h2. And if rook takes, then you have knight at f2.
I think grind should just go. Like, there's nothing wrong with queen takes e6 here.
Yeah, it seems fine. Ooh. Oh, no, never mind.
Bishop d6 for grind.
Yeah, I like your move. He's trying to be more aggressive here, though. So 12 still hasn't fixed his rook mate. Grind is probably aware that the rook mate's though. That bishop move was really odd. It was a mouse slip, I don't know. By the way, if you're not subscribed to me, you should consider subscribing so you can get this cool mouse slip emote. You also have Bughouse, Crazy House, 4-player chess. There's a 1-second time differential here. 12 would like some feed to attack. Otherwise, if he doesn't get feed, Chicken's going to get an attack on him with even rook at a1, at e1.
He might have to just suck it up and go knight e2 or something, or knight takes d4.
Yeah, I think knight takes d4 might be the best approach and walk his king up.
But he's not only got us to figure out how to survive the stuff, also the stuff that he won't get.
Oh, this looks pretty dangerous for him. I wonder, like knight at e1 would be an interesting move, just to cut off the f3 escape square. Well, I guess he just move his bishop. Bishop check, bishop g4 first looks pretty good. Bishop g4 followed by knight at c1.
Or if he just promotes and then takes on c3.
He could do that. The time is fairly close here. You can stick a pawn in here. Then get his knights back into play. Oh, thanks very much for the subscription from Midnight Fox Dota. Yeah, they were discussing you, Midnight Fox, as a possible player in this high house configuration. I guess they found someone else. But yeah, they want to play some games with you at some point.
Midnight Fox stream?
He does not stream as far as I know. But it's interesting, I've seen him in some other channels. Because I play bridge and Midnight Fox also plays bridge. So he's obviously a much better bridge player than I. I just play more recreationally. So I've seen him in some bridge channels, which is always fun to see Bughouse players in other contexts. And I've partnered Midnight Fox before, but it's been a while, so it'd be fun to partner you on stream at some point too.
Be a good stream to watch. Midnight Fox has won Berlin a bunch of times as well.
Yes, Midnight Fox has been the regular partner of Nils Grandilis, who's Grand Delicious on chess.com, and they make a very formidable team. Basically, Nils is a very, very fast player and a very strong player. But in addition to attacking, he's very good at feeding pieces. And Midnight Fox is, with piece flow, he's very good at sacking, and I would say sack sit-in, though he's pretty fast himself. But sack sit-in is very effective when you can get fed all the pieces you want, and Nils can do that for him. So that turns Midnight Fox from like a 2600 into like a 2800.
So Katask is pretty well defended here.
He is, yeah. Got all the key squares covered. But on the other hand, I think Grind is pretty well defended too. So there's just not even a vector to attack Grind. And it looks like Grind has found a way in. Like a few pawns are good for him. Oh, but there's mate on the 12th team board. So the score right now is all tied up again, 19.5 to 19.5.
Katask has got a variation I really like here for black. You just get so much dark square control, and then you just recycle pawns on e3.
Yeah, Jarl was telling me earlier that he likes to watch my streams and Helms' streams and so forth, and watch them like 2 or 3 times from like both perspectives. Like he'll watch the whole stream from like the 12 team board's perspective and the whole stream from the grind board's perspective. And you can pick up more insights when you watch the videos like that, because you can always like pause something and you can rewind it back and look at it more. So you can really try to figure out these open ends and how to do well against these high rated players and what their secrets are.
Yes, 12-team actually blundered here.
Yeah, he did.
Knight f5 wasn't very good.
Because basically, if he takes back, then the king gets out of the net. If he doesn't take back, he just has to wait for more pieces. He can't really move this knight or take this knight, or the bishop will hang. I mean, he can, but it's hard for him to keep initiative that way, and he wants to keep all the initiative he can.
I mean, 12-team has done pretty well considering how many pieces Grind lost here. I think Grind might have done a bad pre-move, but it's like, you know, when you're black and you're playing, and because the dark square control is just like insane.
Is there a mate here? I think the knight covers. Oh wow, that's a really fun mate. I did not see that coming. This is why Chicken is one of the top 3 players. He sees mates that come from nowhere like that. He's like, with 2 queens and a knight in hand, there has to be mate somewhere, and then he finds it.
A lot of people pre-move knight c3, and then the d4 push is really painful.
Yeah, so Grind looked in a bad way over there.
Score's still completely level though.
Yep, we're 20.5 to 20.5. But as the score is level, I think that benefits 12 team, just because Grind is somewhat underrated. Like, in theory, like here he's 200 points below Katask, so when they're even, Grind and 12 team are winning points. Because the margin between Chicken and 12 team is like less than 100 points. Oh, that's interesting. He wants to win the knight when the king moves over. Bishop takes bishop, and then the knight would be very good. I think he should have played bishop takes bishop first. But maybe this works. Oh, my pawn. Yeah, or 2 pawns mates. Or a pawn plus bishop mates. Grind is not moving though. Grind is he mated? Yes, he is.
Fix that would have been better for 12-team plus Grind, but on chess.com there's no pre-move drop. Makes all the difference.
It does, yeah. Oh, this is very dangerous for 12-teen. I don't think he can get away with this. I think he got a little too greedy taking that queen. I don't necessarily see the kill shot, but this king just seemed pretty unsafe. Like a bishop obviously would be very good for chicken. In the absence of a bishop, how does he get him? This might be one of those this crazy situations where rook at b8 is a move. Just to try to.
I consider that too.
But yeah, apparently that was not chicken's plan. The
Pawn,
idea
pawn
behind
c6
rook at
and knight
b8 would have been
c5 here.
something needs to take that, and then the king can't move back that way. So 12-teen now looks fairly safe. Oh, although got the queen there. Things change so quickly. Time is still fairly even. Knight at. I would have preferred the knight closer to his king, but I guess he wants to guard d6 is the idea. Okay, so now chicken has a command in piece. Oh, that had to be that. I'm sure he meant to go to d1 there. I got so engrossed again that I didn't look at the other board. What was going on the grind board?
Is also engrossed. I think that grind's got to give the queen.
Yep. Oh, bishop takes queen. That had to be a mistake. He just picked up like 3 pieces there. I guess 12-teen was trying to avoid the queen trade, but now he's putting himself in some danger here. Now a rook or a knight would be quite good for chicken. Looks like grind is pretty much mated though. Or no, 2 pawns mates for grind. He needs 1 more pawn. The bishop is not sufficient. Oh, there wasn't even a rook on h8. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, this is just mate. So Katesk has mate. Uh, and chicken could just sit. Like I don't know why he's moving. No reason to move. I think he's realized that now. So 12-teen maybe would like a pawn for g4 or a bishop for h5. I suppose maybe you could push b4 to get a move there. Grind would like a knight for f6. He's just going to use his own knight. Try to get in on the dark squares. This is a huge time differential though. This is more than 10 seconds. Honestly, if chicken sat for the rest of the game, could Katas just beat grind at chess? I don't know the answer to that, but I think Katask is significantly better than grind at chess. Uh, Maybe their strategy is to let chicken win at chess. I don't think that's as good of a strategy. So I think it's Kates gonna have to sack. So a queen mates for grind, but he's down time. He's not gonna get it. Grind is down more than 15 seconds. Oh, that was a interesting turn of events. So grind is fairly safe at this point. So this sort of structure with the castle, castling, if the pieces don't come fast, then black can consolidate, as he has. On the other hand, on the 12 team board, chicken is winning some pieces. Great knight. Wait, what? Okay, now chicken's winning a lot of pieces. Oh, that was clever. I didn't see that. Yeah, one back to queen. That's odd. So I guess 12 team would like a knight. He's up
Task is
one
made.
second. Yeah, Kataska's made it with knight at. Nicely done by grind. Pawn win a piece. Maybe take that and then retreat. Yeah. He would like a pawn to put on h6. Another option is to take e5 a few times. And it's probably better just to wait for stuff. Ooh, that misclick? Because if you put a knight there, it would have won the queen. Maybe he's just greedy and going for mate. So after all this, you play queen takes, or maybe chicken gets mated if he does that. Queen in hand here. Interesting. Is he gonna pawn check? Maybe he pawn checks on c2. Queen takes queen. Okay. Can promote to knight.
Ooh, promotes to knight here.
He can also just move his knight or put a new knight on b4. Okay, maybe rook at c2. So Katask is showing how to attack a castle king here. Um, he's creating dark squared weaknesses, going for them. So a rook is very. Oh, he already had the rook. Nice. Yeah, this is
Here's
mate.
mate.
Mate in one with pawn at f. Oh, so finally they've started to pull apart a little bit. The score at this point is Chicken and Katask have 26.5, and 12 Teen and Grind have 21.5.
Chicken 12 team board is insane.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a huge attack for Chicken. And I know 12 Teen likes grabbing stuff, but he can't grab that queen, or I'm fairly sure he's made it.
12. Chicken is so confident in his light square control that he's allowed his queen to be taken with check.
Yeah. That's another win for the Chicken team. And again, chicken attacking 12 so hard there. It's not only that it's good for chicken to have that attack, but it also puts a lot of pressure on grind because grind will feel that he can't trade stuff because it will mate his partner. That constrains his game a lot.
Yes.
I'm talking about last game, obviously, not this game as much. This game, 12 has a fairly good attack if he could get some diagonal pieces, maybe a rook also. But the time is fairly even, so he cannot wait for that. He's going to have to roll out some moves. And what should those moves be is the question. Huh. E5 would be an interesting idea. Because then with pawn takes, you could get your queen over to G6. Or if ever you could take one of these pawns and it took back, you could have knight at E3. But now he has the pawn for H3 if he wants, but he might not see follow up with that. So we might see something different. Also, grind is getting attacked pretty hard. So Katask might just play bishop takes knight or something like that. Yeah, I don't think grind's going to survive this. A rook mates. He's just going to keep undermining those squares. Put a knight on knight to G1 would have been good.
Holmes is also commentating this match.
Oh, who is Helms's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That.
I guess she gets like billions of dollars for streaming from chess.com, right?
No, no.
Oh,
she doesn't get any money from chess.com, but chess.com promotes her.
they at least give her Amazon gift cards?
Well, I mean, another benefit is she gets like a premium chess.com membership, as I do.
You don't make big bucks from being
I do not make big bucks.
a little outraged on your behalf. Task mate in here.
I'm kind of curious whether she is in the call with Katask. Or, no, I'm sorry, with 12 and grind.
To answer your question, I don't think so. And I think that she's going to play chess soon.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. She actually has a scheduled stream, so that's probably part of why. She's on Chess TV probably right now.
She's got to tear herself away from Bughouse and play normal house. Oh, while you were at TwitchCon, Helms got me a new high. I don't know if you knew.
Oh, great. What was your high?
From 2509 to 2513.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Okay, now it is
I played
12
so
teen's
badly.
turn to attack. Now he can sack his queen, bishop at f6. Looks fairly good.
Yeah, it's mating, isn't it?
I think it mates. And at the very least he could take the knight if nothing else, but I'm pretty sure it mates. Another bishop would make it like definitely mate. If 12 got a bishop, then no, he's not even going for it. That is very odd. I don't understand that move at all. Well, I guess it worked out for him because now he has pawn takes and then queen takes bishop. He still didn't do it. He had the two bishops in hand. That was enough for mate. He has three bishops in hand.
I'm a bit perplexed by this.
Yeah, but this is still mate. Here bishop, new bishop in, knight takes. Smash Time wishes Helms would get him a new high. What is your high, Smash Time? Not familiar with that. Oh, this looks really good for chicken. Just time. So grind a lot of times seems to have this king on h2 with g3 a little bit weak. So Katask is quite good at that, getting that attack. Grind, of course, would like a rook, but I don't know if that's in the cards.
His high is 2580.
Oh, that's a pretty big high. Hard to beat that.
That'll take me some years, probably.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever beat my high. I think my high is something like 2450 or 2460. Very hard for me even to get into the 2400s. So chicken seems fairly safe. Grind is really the grind Katas board is where we'll see mate in some capacity. I think Katask is fine, but he has to shed some pieces. So he's up time. Maybe he wants to let chicken play up these pieces for a little bit. Oh, and now they're trading a bunch because the times became even. So a rook would mate for chicken.
Brian is not able to give even a knight here. Oh, now maybe he can. He can.
Yeah, but now he's. Oh, that's interesting. Getting on that diagonal. Want to trade the queens? I think that's fine for Katask. So chicken can trade the queens if he wants. So chicken would like, I guess a knight would be good, a knight for b5. Or a knight for e8 even. Bishops could potentially be good. Though the worry is if 12-team can get to d6 and then take e6, then 12-team can potentially be safer. And that's what happened. And at this point, 12-team has so many extra pieces that he should be able to be okay.
I think maybe the reason that Katask and Chicken are getting ahead is because Katask is so flexible. People out.
Yeah, Katask definitely has quite a few gears. So I mean, another thing that we can't necessarily discount is this is the first time ever that Katask is on voice. Uh, and maybe Katask is like another level up when he's on voice.
That's for sure.
So Chicken's king seems fairly safe, and he's attacking 12 queen pretty relentlessly here. One a queen for peace. Grind has a decent attack himself. Grind's going to win some pieces. I think that Grind is fairly safe.
It's going to be hard for Katask to actually defend it. He might have to go knight at d6 to defend e8, and then
knight takes knight.
but then he can take with a pawn and he can like scurry his king around. That's all I can see for him.
Maybe. An interesting defense. Yeah, so Katask is fairly dead. Oh, that's nice. He has no blocker.
Nice play by Grind. I'm lagging maybe because like.
Why do you think you're lagging?
Just because like nothing happened and then like 6 moves were busted out simultaneously.
They are that fast.
Dragon
So
Ball Z.
by the way, the score right now is Chicken and Katask have 31.5, and 12 Teen and Grind have 23.5. That's about an 8-point lead. The 12 Teen, I guess, like a knight. Well, he's down time, so he's gonna have to roll out some moves. His queen is also under attack here. Where do you think he'll move his queen to? Maybe d2 or... Oh, he's just gonna shed the queen to get a little safer on... Okay. So now knight would mate for 12 teen or a queen, but that's not coming. Yeah, Chicken, I think he's gonna get a win here. They're up 6 seconds. Oh, Chicken just gonna defend himself. But he has a huge piece advantage. So 12 teen is attacking, and he'll take the queen back later, which he just did. Oh, Gates went for the queen. Interesting. Okay. I think he should have gone for the attack. Yeah, Chicken can't live through this. Knight check. Uses existing knight. A pawn would mate. He's using the bishop in the interim. Is oh, what is the time like? The time is fairly close. A pawn mates on c2. A rook also would probably lead to mate. A rook at d2. He could just go for broke and play knight at g1, but I think then 12 teen would get mated by... Well, actually, the bishop covers h6, so the knight-knight mate probably doesn't work. So maybe knight at g1 is an option. He doesn't want to just sit it all the way down. Knight at g1, the threat is if rook takes, then you get to take back for Modin. And if rook doesn't take, and if something random happens, you can promote this pawn then. And it looks like they're trying to force the queens over there. Oh, queen, king h8. That's very interesting. We're probably going to see knight at g6 here, actually. Oh, no. That's an interesting defensive move. Oh, there's knight at g6. Oh, whoa. Why didn't we see queen at e1? That seems pretty good with the knight covering. I think that was mate. Okay, this is mate too. That's an attack and defend move. So we have an 8-second advantage for the Chicken Crossroad team, which is huge. And I think Chicken is fairly safe. D2 is covered by the knight. All the squares around the king are pretty safe. So Chicken is threatening knight at d6. I guess he doesn't want to give the knight quite yet because it mates his partner. Oh, so
yeah. I like knight f5 for Chicken.
Knight f5. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, so that would attack the queen and also attack the e7 square to give less luft for the king. And you played your move. Yep.
I like it when they play my moves. Oh, I did not expect this.
Oh, I guess he can do that. He doesn't have the queen in the hand yet. But now Chicken is on the run. And 12 is going to try to check him for the rest of the game, I would imagine. Have to play king takes. You can get this other knight in play. I think 12 is going to mate here. We might see knight back check if he goes over here. So they resigned. I guess Katask had a good attack, or was it? Paying much attention to that board again.
I also don't think Chicken was made.
It's not quite mate yet. I didn't see a calculated out mate, but it still looked pretty good for 12. So he's created a positional weakness on g7, which Chicken immediately plugged. So he doesn't want to take this rook because that would open up the rook file. Unless the rook is really good for his partner. It's not right now. Oh, he's winning the queen. I didn't even see that. So this knight is his best friend. He definitely should not take this knight. He should be looking at attacking moves or ways to get more stuff on the board.
And is made.
Yep. That's a nice smothered mate.
I wonder if 12 will go knight takes g2. There's also f5.
F5 is interesting. And he does take that. And it's interesting that Chicken took back.
Yes.
I think Chicken just figured he was safe enough, and gobble gobble.
I think what's interesting about this matchup is like the uniformity of style. Like They're all good at chess.
They are, yeah. So here, a knight would mate for 12-teen. But
I think what
not gonna
we're
get it.
seeing is that
Oh, go ahead.
good at chess. Nobody is trying to chess anybody. Like it's all just like pure bughouse stuff with sex and sits and so on.
Yep. But they're also quite good at not letting the times get too crazy. I mean, at some points we've seen like 10-second differentials, but we never see like 30 seconds down. And if it was 30 seconds down, then there could be some stress about, okay, a rook mates. What's the time like? The time's pretty even. I don't think he's going to get the rook. Oh, but he did win the queen back. You can't take that though because knight at h3 would mate. Grind is
grind
up time, but grind, yeah, grind also looks mated.
I think chicken, yeah, could play like something at h3, and now it's actually hard for.
Yeah, that's a clever move. So grind is up, what, like 1 second here? I guess grind would like a rook or a queen. And if grind does not attack, then he's in trouble. So this is hard to defend. Oh, he's just grabbing the rook for his partner. Yeah, this is going to be hard for chicken to defend. Actually, no, that doesn't work. I was going to say pawn at h7, but then queen takes. If bishop took, then it would probably be mate. So another rook would mate or queen. Gonna. Oh, that's the timeout win. I think they're wrapping up the series. So Katas says GG's, 12-teen says GG's, Chicken says GG's, thanks. and 12-teen says in the end they are +1 points. So as far as this match score, it's 34.5 for the chicken team and 24.5 for the 12-teen team. But the match score is obviously different from the points because grind is over 200 points below Katask when they started. Katask is saying he likes being on the on voice call with chicken. Says chicken voice helped a lot, so sexy. And chicken is saying that Katask's voice is very sexy. That narrows down who Katask is for those of you wondering.
How many
people? To be a player,
how many chess players have
strong
voices?
Strong chess player with a sexy voice. And now everyone is in awe that chicken heard Katask. I mean, honestly, I could have jumped in the channel and the stream could have heard him, but I thought that might dox him, so didn't
could
have
have do that. Jumped in and just like figured out, but I already know that's Daniel Wrench, so I see no need to.
Of course.
Can I make a quick plug on your stream, Chuck?
Of course, always.
So Pi Chess has just added Gothic chess and Gothic house, so it's like Capablanca chess, but the pieces are.
So there was a guy who just joined the house Discord who said he was a programmer. Is that the guy who programmed that server?
Gothic Chess Inventor is not doing anything with Pi Chess. He invented, a well-known variant.
I see. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt. So you could talk about Gothic chess then.
So it's just like Capablanca chess, but like without the awkward initial placement of the pieces. So it works a lot better as a game. And there's also Gothic House for Crazy House. So I immediately asked because I kind of suck without the piece drops anymore. My regular chess skills have kind of gone down the toilet. So there's a pie chest for you, and I think this will be the last make. So now they have Capablanca, Sierra One chest, Grand, and Gothic.
Great.
Stuff that you can get elsewhere. So yeah.
Wait, one stream frozen? Oh no. Okay. So Chicken and Katask are saying that they were excited. Or no, Katask was not excited, so they need more excitement. They're saying it's a hard grind for that 1 point. Maybe they'll play 10 more games to get 100 points. But Katask is scared to lose all of his rating. So I am going to need to raid someone. It looked like both Helm's Knight and OK were streaming, but OK just raided Helm's Knight, so that makes the choice very easy. So I'm going to be raiding Helm's Knight as soon as we're sure that they're stopped. But I think they're stopping. So we're going to raid Helm's Knight. I'm sure you all know Helm's Knight, but say hi to her, and if you are sub to the channel, be sure to drop that bughouse emote in the chat and let her know you want her to stop this crazy normal house and return back to the bughouse family. And thanks so much for Draw Carlander for co-commentating with me. And let's give another plug for his channel, which is Jar Carlander Bughouse on Twitch. And in addition, let's plug his blog again, which is Jar Carlander blog on chess.com. And have a great night, everyone.